What's good? What's good, y'all? We back with another one. Ooda here. Everybody's on go. Welcome to On Go. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Salute to all of y'all. Listen, man, right now we got Daniel Phillips. He says that Diddy continued the FOs after the raids on his home. I'm like, hold on, Phillips. Hold on. What happened? You said Diddy still was oiling shit up. Oh, you lying. We're going to have to get into this, yo. Phillips, he's a character in himself. He's bugged out. I was there in the court. He's a funny guy, bro, when he's ready. I heard him testify. I saw him testify with my own eyes. My own Stevie Wonders. I'm telling you, with my own Stevies. Shout out to everybody. Salute to y'all. If you're not a part of On Go, be a part of it now. Make sure y'all smashing that like button and get in the comments and let me know what y'all are thinking about this whole situation.
Well, the prosecutor, Maureen Comey, who is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, was actually fired shortly after the verdict.
Yeah.
Which kind of sends a message that the feds probably told her not to take on this case in the first place. It's probably unwinnable. She's like, no, I'm going to take it on. And they're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
At your own risk. And when listen, technically the feds won, right? They got a conviction. That 98% conviction rate will be tacked on to that.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, you go from a RICO to prostitution. And Diddy even said that he's the only man in America who's in jail right now for hiring male prostitutes. Right? I haven't said, like, when the verdict.
Yo, when it comes to Vlad, son, bro, he pays people to come there to do what? To talk them to death? I swear, bro, if you listen to him, bro, he just got run-on sentences. It's supposed to be questions, but they come as run-on sentences. When does the guest get to talk? You always listen to him talk all the time, son. He just always want to show you how down he is or how smart he is. Bro, we're watching for the interview. Not the interviewer. You're not even on camera, homie. Relax, bro. Relax. Let's get to the oil ups and what happened. Come on, bro. Y'all get in the comments if y'all tired of Vlad bullish. If you tired of Vlad bullish, comments, homie. Comments.
Oh, no, you can't be serious. That is some bullshit right there.
Let's get back to it.
Came in, I'm like, Diddy got convicted of tricking. That's it.
So there's another way that I look at this potentially. If all people being convicted of crimes were to want their day in court, then the judicial system collapses, right? That this is what they say. And so, there's a reason why they try to deter people from actually going to trial.
Yeah, plea deals are very, very common. Yeah.
Right? And so the way that this trial ended, people are probably going to start feeling like, oh, the feds are not, undefeatable. And so in that sense, she may be a pawn the same way we were a pawn, right? We were a pawn in the fact that they used us to make Diddy look just horrible, right? We didn't get to tell any of our stories. They labeled us escorts. It just looked real bad. Comey being fired may be the way that now people are going to be like, oh, you see, they're not going to just take something like that from their lead prosecutor. That means that they're sticking with whatever it is that they got going on here. They will get rid of whoever they have to get rid of to make sure this system stands. And it might deter people from saying, oh, everybody can try to pull a Diddy now.
Yeah, possibly. How much time do you think the heat is?
Everybody could pull a Diddy now. That is a powerful statement, though. In the same breath, I'm telling you. Plus, this case is a case that's never been tried like this, right? So the judge has to set the precedent of how people are going to get charged for this. And it seems like this is a charge, these counts that he did get convicted of, even if he didn't get convicted of the more harsher ones. These charges right here is pretty simple for not only artists and celebrities, but regular normal people to get caught in this same kind of tuition, interstate tuition type of charges. So, yeah, Yeah, that's a technical one. Let's get back to this one because I think you're gonna ask him about the time. So let's see what he thinking about the time. Everybody get in the comments. Y'all let me know. Like I said, man, y'all smash that like button. But yeah, just let me know what y'all thinking though. Make sure y'all share this video too as well.
Deserves, because at this point the sentencing hasn't happened yet.
So I think that I've always had a different thought process. Jail doesn't work, bro. Jail, this is a stupid freaking system. I don't know why they call it the rehabilitation system. If the point is going to be to take this danger off of the streets for a certain amount of time, then he needs to be in jail for as long as it's going to take until they can prove that he's no longer a danger to society, right? Whatever amount of time that means. But if they really are about rehabilitation, then I truly believe that, you know, he needs to get however much time would be that it takes that they can prove that this guy has been actually rehabilitated, right? So I'm not somebody that thinks that, oh, you should get 10 years, you should get 15, 20 years. No, if it's really about what the system says it's about, how long is it going to take, you know, for the professionals to rehabilitate this man?
Yeah, I don't know.
And if that's life, then it's life, bro.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this I don't know if it's a fact, but it's based on the interviews that I've done. After Diddy's homes were raided, he continued to have freak-offs with Jane Doe and Don the dealer.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, Don was even talking about how he was in the house and Jane Doe was like, yeah, Cassie's a liar. She's a lying ass bitch. And Diddy was on the phone like, yo, I just lost this deal. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. So he knew all this is coming down.
Yeah.
The fire, you know, the house is on fire. But hey, still do a freak off though.
I've been saying this though. I've been saying, you see, most likely this guy is probably going to get a lighter sentence. And people are talking, Trump might pardon him all.
Then you're talking about the pardon as well. I think they messed up talking about that pardon. Who messed up? Nicole Westmoreland. I think she messed up with that. That's why she had to walk back those statements. As soon as I heard that, I think it was a blunder. Me personally. The MSG, the Madison Square Garden thing, I think that was a blunder as well. They had to walk back those statements as well. I think right now is not a time for you to show any kind of cockiness or any kind of like overconfidence right now. You know what I mean? Because the judge got everything in his hands. He got your whole life and freedom in his hand, the whole world in his hand. He got your whole world, bro. You know what I mean? So he might think like, yo, y'all think it's a game, or y'all think, oh, you think that you could wiggle out of this situation or that situation like this. Cool. So it comes down to things like that as well, right? We're talking about what time does it take for a person to rehabilitate, right? We were speaking about that in my last video, the last Diddy video I was talking about, right? But what are we rehabilitating now, right? First of all, this man, remember, he beat the other charges, even though those allegations that was alleged against him will be used as relevant conduct in sentencing and used against him at a sentencing. Besides that, we know that these two counts that he does have, they may be tuition charges or whatever the case may be, but what it comes down to is the humanity level. It comes down to the humanity. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these times in these situations, even in some of the allegations that was against him throughout the whole thing, even of some of the things that he's been acquitted of, the humanity level was really low. You know what I'm saying? Of him just feeling like he's just this bigger figure, and you know what I'm saying, and not caring about what other people thinks. So how long does it take for a person to really care what people think or care about other people? Because they're deeming you to be this detriment to the community. You see what I'm saying? So how long does it take to rehabilitate that? You know what I mean? That's a hard thing to think about when you think of it like that. Like, you know what I mean? How long? And then after, even if you give him 5, 10 years, does that mean that this person that he is rehabilitated? No, it doesn't mean that. So I just think that the judge has a lot on his hands. You know what I'm saying? It does. You know what I mean? The world stopped when the trial started. We was all looking at the case. We all had eyes on Diddy. We wanted to know what his hair looked like. What's going on with him? Whatever. We all wanted to know that. Now it's out of Diddy hands right now, or out of the light of Diddy at least. And all the light is on the judge. You know what I'm saying? Not the lawyers, not nobody else, just the judge, man. And we're going to see what type of judge he is. When we get to hear him talk, we're going to hear some of the things that he's probably been through in his own self. You don't have to speak about the things you've been through, but sometimes just by how you speak and what you're saying. It just shows you your lens, and it shows you the thing that you may have seen. So I'm looking forward to hearing that, but I'm most definitely looking forward to hearing what Diddy has to say and if he's going to speak up at sentencing. I think that him speaking up is going to be very, very critical in whatever happens as well, too, as well. If he can talk about some of the things that may have changed or what he feel he's changed or how he's going to go about changing further in the future or whatever he wants to do to help victims or people or whatever he wants to do to get treatments or whatever it is. I think that's something that he needs to be able to speak, and the lawyers cannot speak this for him. Okay. I think that his lawyers has done everything that they can do for him. They did a great job for him. You know what I mean? I think they're still working for him. But I think the best thing that's working in Diddy's favor is his record. You know what I'm saying? If he even had a slight smidget of a real record on his record or something like going down, like let's say that weapons possessions would shine when they had it before. Remember all of that? Things like that and all of that. You know what I mean? Now they might be talking to you different. So, like I said, the best thing that's working on Diddy's favor is that we know that the defense, like I said, they're trying to push for another year or so. Maybe he can go home and do it on home detention, like a halfway house. I don't know if they'll be granted that. You know what I mean? He could get 3 years. He could get, you know what I mean, another year or so. He could, you know what I mean? Many people that have had those charges have got a little bit of time too as well, or probations and stuff like that as well. But you ain't Diddy. But, you know, when you just judge it by the book, some people have, just based on the counts that he was charged with, the interstate tuition. You know what I mean? But like I said, those cases were different. That's what the judge said, not what I said. I thought it was kind of good that the defense brought it up, but then when the judge spoke back to it, he kind of broke it down and he said, based on the violences alone that's been alleged against you alone, just based on the violences alone, the same domestic violences that your team has already admitted to from the opening statements from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? They owned it. Yeah, owned it throughout the whole trial. Based on those same violences alone, bail is a no-go just based on that alone. So forget everything else. Forget the cases that were cited. And like I said, the judge has his own precedent. And this is what's going to determine how these cases are charged. You know what I mean? They may still go back and look to a Stebic case. They may still go back and look to a Chavez case. But now they have Sean Diddy Combs now. And anybody that's going in that, I'm like, okay, well, Puff Daddy got boom, boom, boom. So bang, bang, bang. Welcome to the future. Let me know what y'all thinking about this, man. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what y'all thinking about this whole situation. Tell me what y'all think Diddy's going to get. What do you think the time is going to be? Nobody could be wrong. We're all just guessing, speculating. That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows nothing. We're not the judge or the jury. Thank you, God, because jury had a task on their hand, and the judge even has a bigger one right now to give satisfaction to victims and maybe to society too, maybe to his own self, his own family, or maybe any victim that he knows personally. So we're just waiting to see all of that. But look, like I said, y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all make sure y'all smashing that like button. Salute to everybody that's hitting the Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Subscribe to the channel, though. Subscribe to me on Instagram and on TikTok. We running it up everywhere. Ooda, ooda, ooda. Oh, we on. All my niggas from the Ooda. All my niggas turn shooters. Ooda, ooda. All my